Hello, it's Randi Rhodes. Here's a clip from our show, and go to randyrhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast of, forces coming and going into schools and going into, apartments, going into houses, to grab the people, the deportation force. Well, Kellyanne Conway didn't like that, as you know, and on Sunday she said the immigration policy will be announced shortly when she decides what it is. In fact, Donald Trump was supposed to have an immigration speech tomorrow, but they postponed because Kellyanne hasn't made up her mind what she wants to see come out of the pie hole, the little round pie hole that is Donald Trump's face.
Let me play something from what Mr. Trump has said previously. Listen to what he said back in November.
Going to have a deportation force, and you're going to do it humanely and expensively. Are they going to be ripped
out of their homes?
Can I tell you? They're going back where they came. If they came from a certain country, they're going to be brought back to that country. Mm-hmm. That's the way it's supposed to be.
So does Donald Trump still support that? A deportation force removing the 11 million or so undocumented immigrants?
Mm-hmm. What he supports, and if you go back to his convention speech a month ago, Dana, what he supports is to make sure that we enforce the law, that we are respectful of those Americans who are looking for well-paying jobs, and that we are fair and humane for those who live among us in this country. And as the weeks unfold, he will lay out the specifics of that plan that he would implement as president of the United States.
Will that plan include a deportation force, the kind that you just heard in that soundbite and that he talked about during the Republican primaries?
To be determined.
Okay. To be determined. I haven't told him what to say yet. Well, last night he started softening. Last night he went to the soft.
Is there any part of the law that you might be able to change that would accommodate those people that contribute to society, have been law-abiding, have kids here? Would there be any room in your mind, because I know you had a meeting this week with Hispanic leaders.
I did. I had a meeting with great people, great Hispanic leaders, and there certainly can be a softening because we're not looking to hurt people. We want people. We have some great people in this country.
And then they started cheering. They're not supposed to cheer A, FlipFlops, and B, they're not supposed to cheer softening on his promise to deport 11 million illegals. But they were cheering because anything he says, they cheer because they're brainwashed is what it is. I mean, completely and totally brainwashed. And so it was an interesting moment that just got glossed over by Sean Hannity, got glossed over by the audience who did not completely understand that Donald Trump is now going to flip-flop on immigration the way he flip-flopped on Libya, the way he flip-flopped on Iraq, the way he flip-flopped on Syria, the way he flip-flopped on wages being too high, taxes being raised, a Muslim ban, all these things, he's flip-flopped on. And and one of the biggest ones is the self-funding one. Oh, won't I look stupid? You better vote. Oh, man, what a loser I would be after all this money. Well, you know what? They went and attacked Hillary Clinton for all her fundraisers that are. I told you I got an invitation to one of them, or three of them. I can't afford to go to any of them. I can't even. What I can afford to do is volunteer to park the cars. That's what I can afford to do. I'll go to some, rich person's house in Boca Raton, and I'll valet. And I'll just stick my head in briefly and go, hi, and that's it. And that's all I want. That's what I can do because I can't afford $33,000 per person. Or if I wanted to be a host, I could give her $100,000. So that sounds disgusting. And guess what? It is. But it's legal because of Citizens United. It's legal because of the Republicans. We tried 1,000,000 times to do campaign finance reform, which we used to talk about ad nauseum. I used to make myself sick talking about campaign finance reform because money in politics it's probably the leading cause of governmental dysfunction and electoral dysfunction. Electile dysfunction. Okay, so the Clintons, let's go through their fundraisers, just so you know. And then prepare to be sickened, okay? Because the self-funder has broken the law. Hillary Clinton never claimed to be self-funding now, did she? No. She's very brazen with the emails she sends you. We came up short. You get them. We came up short. Oh, please have her back. get my back, right? It's like, and immediately it goes now to clutter, is where I put it. But hi, it's Randi Rhodes. We missed you today. For the entire show, whenever, wherever, go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast. And don't forget to catch our show live right here from 4 to 6 Eastern.